$79.99 is where the handbag wall at TJ Maxx is supposed to stop. Walk 40 feet and the same store will sell you a made in Italy leather shoulder bag for $2,549.99. Here is the part nobody tells you. The $2,549.99 bag is the honest one. The $79.99 bag with the compare at number stapled above it is the one playing games. The difference was not luck and it was not location. It comes down to one purple tag and a second number printed beside the price that I am going to teach you to ignore, because that second number is not a price at all. It is an opinion. The store's own lawyers had to admit that, and it cost them $8.5 million. So today we go straight into the section most women walk around, the red tag runway racks, where the real $500 and up labels quietly land. You were never too cheap for that rack. You were told to be afraid of it. I'm Diane Whitmore, 20 years buying estate jewellery and handbags across the Midwest, and I'll show you exactly what I check before I put a dollar on a bag. So here is the contract. 7 bags from the Runway at TJ Maxx that beat the $500 brands at their own game, and 3 that only look like deals. 3 names on that same rack that I will tell you to put back, and I will show you exactly why. Along the way, you get the 4 checks I run before I put a dollar on any bag, and I promise you this, by the time we hit bag number 3, you will be able to grade anything on that rack in under a minute without trusting me or the tag. There is a test coming, and it is the whole reason this video works. Subscribe if you want it, because this is the kind of homework nobody else is doing for this rack. Number 1, Marc Jacobs. You have seen the tote, the one with the tote bag printed across the front in letters you can read from the parking lot. On the brand's own site, the leather medium tote is $498 and the large is $598. On the off-price racks, that same leather runs somewhere between $150 and $300 depending on the season. And I have watched women pick it up, see the name, and set it back down like it must be a trick. It is not a trick, and here is the mechanism, because there is one every single time a real label lands on this rack. Marc Jacobs is a volume house. That tote is produced in enormous runs in every colour the design team can dream up, and every colour that does not sell through at the department stores has to go somewhere. The off-price buyers take it by the truckload. You are not buying a factory second, you are buying somebody else's forecasting mistake. Run your thumb along the edge paint and check the stitching where the handles anchor. That is where volume production shows its seams if it is going to. The leather did not get cheaper on the drive over. The calendar is what got discounted. Now hold on to that idea of a second cheaper version of a famous name, because bag number 2 has been quietly refusing to play that game since before you were born. Number 2, Longchamp. Family owned, French and stubborn in a way that matters to your wallet. The nylon Le Pliage tote. La Pliage, and now you can say it at the rack, the one you have seen folded up in half the carry-ons in America. Lists at $155 for the large on Longchamp's own site, and their small leather pieces climb past $500. The extra in leather sits at $505 retail. Here is the mechanism, and it is the opposite of Marc Jacobs. Longchamp does not run a big outlet empire cranking out cheaper made-for-discount versions. What reaches the off-price rack is overwhelmingly the real assortment. Store overstock, not a shadow line. Which means when you find Longchamp at TJ Maxx, you are holding the same bag the department store had, minus the department store. Now the honest note, because you get one on every bag I recommend, the classic Le Pliage body is nylon, not leather, and no amount of French heritage changes that. If you are paying leather money for nylon, that is on you. Fair. But that nylon is the whole point. It folds flat, shrugs off rain, outlives trends, and the trim and handles are real leather that darkens with your hands like a good belt. The body is a raincoat. The handles are the pedigree. The next bag is Italian. It built its name on leather, the way Longchamp built its name on nylon. And the reason it keeps showing up on this rack is a piece of bad news for department stores that turned into very good news for you. Before we go one bag further, here is the test, exactly where I promised it, and it is the only reason the rest of this video works. 4 checks. All of them physical, all of them runnable at the rack, none of them requiring you to trust me. Check 1. Ignore the compare at number. That is the frame for this entire video and it does not change. Compare at is the buyer's estimate of what a bag like this might sell for somewhere else. TJ Maxx's own website called it exactly that. And in 2015, a California class action over those phantom comparison prices ended in an $8.5 million settlement. It is an opinion wearing a price tag's clothes. Judge the black number and judge it against the brand's own website, which is a 30-second phone check from the aisle. Check 2. Open the bag and read the inside stamp, the whole stamp, every word. First name and last, not the logo, the words. In a few minutes, I will show you a bag on this rack where that one habit saves you from the most expensive misunderstanding in the building. Check 3. The materials tag and your nose. Real leather smells like an animal was involved. Coated, synthetic smells like a car dashboard. The fibre content sticker sewn into the seam does not do marketing. Find it, read it, believe it. Check 4. Hardware in the hand. Zip every zipper. Lift the chain, the buckle, the feet. Real brass has a dead weight that hollow castings do not, and your hand knows the difference even if you have never thought about it. And there is a 5th check, a single letter stamped inside just one brand on this rack, that tells you in 1 second whether a bag was born in a real line or born in an outlet. I will show you exactly what that letter is before we are done. Every bag left in this video passes all 4 checks. The 3 at the end each fail at least one on purpose, and you will catch them yourself before I say a word. One thing, then I am done selling for the day. Those 4 checks are page 6 of the Handbag Value Playbook. Everything I run before I put $1 on a bag, built over 20 years of buy tables. Link below. I won't bring it up again. Back to the rack. Number 3. Furla. Say it with me, Furla, because you have walked past this name 100 times and assumed it was just another mid-tier brand with an Italian-sounding label. It is not. Furla is a real Italian house founded in Bologna in 1927, still making structured leather bags that list in the $300 to $500 range at full retail, and routinely selling at half that even before they reach the off-price channel. Here is the mechanism, and it is a sad one if you own department store stock. The wholesale world Furla was built on. The Dillard's and Macy's handbag counters has been shrinking for a decade. When the counters shrink, the orders already cut have nowhere to land, and off-price buyers pick up current, genuinely Italian leather for dimes. I have held a Furla at an estate sale outside Dayton that the family had filed in the donate pile because the name did not ring a bell. The dealer next to me paid up fast, like he was afraid someone else would hear the leather creak. Smell test, hardware test. A Furla passes both with its eyes closed. The arch of the whole story so far is simple. You are already standing past $400 of pure label savings, and we have not touched the purple tags yet. Which brings me to the next one, because the next bag's little brother is also on this rack, sold under almost the same name, made by a completely different company, and telling that pair of bags apart is worth more than everything I have said so far. Number 4, Valentino Garavani, the real one, red carpets, rock studs, bags that list between $1,000 and $4,000 at retail, sold through Saks and Neiman Marcus and the brand's own boutiques. And yes, it lands in the Runway. That is the entire reason the purple section exists. When the chain's buyers get a crack at true designer overstock, it goes to the select stores with a Runway department. Wearing a purple tag, the online Runway listings tell you the shape of the discount in plain sight. A made in Italy leather shoulder bag at $2,549.99 against a $3,200 compare at. A Spanish calfskin hobo at $1,699.99 against $2,150. And remember the frame, the compare at is still just an opinion. What is not an opinion is the brand's own boutique price, which your phone will hand you in the aisle, and against that number the purple tag routinely wins by hundreds. Here is the mechanism. Designer houses produce for a season, and a season ends whether the bag's sold or not. Quietly moving the remainder through one discrete rack protects the boutique price better than a public sale ever would. Now read that inside stamp like I taught you. Every word. Valentino Garavani. Both names. Together. Hold on to why I am being this insistent, Because at the end of this video, that exact habit is going to save somebody in the comments a month of regret. The boutique is the pitch, the stamp is the proof. Number 5, Stella McCartney. This is a hard one to sell you honestly, so I am going to concede the weakness first and let you decide. The Falabella, the slouchy one with the silver chain whipping around the edge, is not leather. It never was. It is Stella's whole flag, no animal products ever, and the medium Falabella still lists around $1,000 at luxury retail. A polyester bag for 4 figures. I can hear you from here, and you are not wrong to flinch. Here is the flip. You are not paying for hide, and the brand has never once pretended you were. You are paying for the one designer bag where the tag and the truth agree on purpose. The fabric is the statement, the recycled metal chain is real weight in the hand, and check 4 passes the moment you lift it. And on the resale sites, Falabellas hold a real market, a no-leather bag that women buy second-hand on purpose, which is a sentence I cannot say about anything else on this rack. On the runway, that 4-figure list collapses the way every designer remainder does. The coating on a cheap bag lies about what it is. A Falabella tells you what it is before you ask. The next name you already know, you have just been trained to buy the wrong version of it. Number 6, Kate Spade. The main line, Kate Spade, New York, the full stamp, runs solidly into the high $300 and $400 at list on its leather styles, and it shows up at TJ Maxx as true department store overstock. Here is the mechanism, and it is the one that burns the most women in this niche. Kate Spade's parent company, Tapestry, runs 2 rivers. One river is the main line that the flagship stores sell. The other is a made-for-outlet line built cheaper from the first stitch that exists only so the outlet mall has something to mark down. The outlet river never touched the main line's price, so its markdown is theatre. The TJ Maxx river is the real line at a real cut, same name on the front, opposite truth inside. So run check 3 hard here. Mainline Kate Spade leather feels dense and smells like the animal. The outlet grade feels lighter, smells like chemistry, and the lining tells on it. And one honest note, modern Kate Spade does not hold resale value the way the designer floors above it do. This is a bag you buy to carry, not to bank. The bill is the bill. Now, the last pick. It is the biggest American name in this entire store. It is sitting in 2 different sections of the same shopping centre, telling 2 different stories, and it is the bag that 5th check, the single letter, was built for. Number 7, Coach. At TJ Maxx, the Coach you find is mainline overstock. The Tabby family alone lists between $350 and $550 on Coach's own site. Down the road at the outlet mall, Coach Outlet sells bags that were born in the outlet, made for the outlet, and never saw the mainline price they are pretending to be marked down from. Same word on the hardware. 2 different bags from birth. So here is check 5, redeemed exactly as promised. Open the bag, find the creed, that little leather patch with the paragraph stamped into it, and read the style code. A letter F in that code means factory, outlet born. 1 letter, 1 second, and the whole costume falls off. No F, and you are holding the real line, glove-tanned leather and brass that passes the hardware check with a thud. Why does the real thing land here at all? Coach is one of the biggest handbag operations in America. Volume that big always leaves a remainder, and remainders roll downhill to the off-price buyers like water. 20 years of estate sales, and the coaches that come back to the buy table holding their money are the ones without that letter. Every time. The name is on both bags, the truth is inside one of them. And that is the whole ledger. 7 bags, all 4 checks, roughly $1,000 of label money left on the floor. Which means it is time for the 3 I promised, because a test you never watch fail is not a test. It is a pep talk. Number 8, Valentino by Mario Valentino. There it is, the expensive misunderstanding I flagged at bag 4. Same rack, same first name in big letters. Different company entirely. Mario Valentino is a Naples leather house founded in 1952. Older than the famous one, and since a 1979 agreement, both houses have legally shared the Valentino name on leather goods, with one condition that is your entire defence. Mario Valentino must be printed inside the bag. At TJ Maxx, these run $100 to $400, and the trap is not that they are terrible bags. The trap is the arithmetic in your head. Your eyes see the red carpet name, your brain fills in a $2,000 retail, and suddenly $249.99 feels like theft in your favor. It is not. You are paying a fair price for a mid-tier Naples bag while feeling like you stole couture, and the feeling is the product. The Garavani house sued over exactly this confusion in 2019. Check 2 catches it in 5 seconds. Open the bag, read every word of the stamp. If the inside says Mario, the outside was never Garavani. Buy it as a Mario or put it back. Just never buy it as a story. And the next skip does not even bother borrowing a stranger's name. It borrows a material. Number 9. Love Moschino. The heart hardware, the quilting, the $200 and up tags, and the material sticker that says polyurethane, upper and trim, with a polyester lining behind it. That is, check 3 failing in writing, while the price tag charges you leather money for the logo of a famous Italian fashion house's diffusion line. Why does it keep working? Because the quilting photographs like lambskin and nobody reads the sticker in a seam. Here is the failure mode, and it is not an if polyurethane delaminates. It peels, it flakes, it bubbles at the corners where your hand rides, and it cannot be conditioned, repaired, or saved, because there is no hide under there to save. A leather bag ages, a polyurethane bag expires. Put it back. Number 10. Karl Lagerfeld Paris. Notice the word doing the heavy lifting, Paris. This is the diffusion line, built in volume for exactly these racks, and most of what you will find is embossed coated material doing its best Saffiano impression over a synthetic heart. Run the rack test yourself. The nose says dashboard, the hardware comes up light, and the fibre tag finishes the sentence, the front of the bag started and did not want to finish. And notice what all 3 of these skips have in common, because it is one rule, not 3. On every one, the name is doing the work the materials refuse to do. The picks earned their price inside the bag. The skips borrowed theirs from a stamp on the outside. When the tag and the materials disagree, the materials are telling the truth. So here is what you actually walked out with. Marc Jacobs, the calendar got discounted, not the leather. Longchamp, a raincoat body with pedigree handles and no shadow outlet line diluting it. Furla, Bologna leather orphaned by dying department store counters. Valentino Garavani, the purple tag is a season ending and the full name inside is the receipt. Stella McCartney, the one bag on earth that is proud to fail the leather test and holds a resale market anyway. Kate Spade, 2 rivers, 1 name. Buy from the overstock river, not the outlet one. Coach, 1 letter in the creed separates the real line from the costume, and the skips all broke the same law the picks obeyed. The inside has to agree with the outside. That is not 10 facts. That is one system run 10 times. Here is the part I want you to take past the register. The woman paying $598 at the boutique and the woman paying a purple tag price for the same season's bag are carrying the same leather, only one of them paid extra for the lighting. You were never refusing quality, you were refusing to pay to climb. So next time you are in that section and someone hovering nearby wonders out loud whether anything in this store is real, you will flip a bag open without a word, read the whole stamp, roll the zipper once, weigh the chain in your hand, and put it in your cart or put it back and say absolutely nothing. The quiet is the whole reward. So tell me in the comments your best rack find, the brand, the black tag price you paid, and the compare it number that was stapled above it, because I read everyone and I want to see the gap you closed. Somebody in that thread is about to save somebody else $300. And if that little Coach creed caught your eye, good, because some of those patches are hiding bags worth more than anything on the Runway rack, and that is exactly where we are going next. 20 years of estate sales taught me what dealers pay and what families give away. So pick the bag up, because the tag will tell you which one you're holding.